certainly does seem these days as though you have to kick and scream to really get what you need. It
Well,
really is a shame.
she wrote letters to senators and
And they wrote back.
they wrote
I
back.
don't believe it.
Yeah, but she was furious.
Senator
I'll
White,
bet.
What the heck's going on
or
here?
Representative White, or whoever he is.
Well, and it is true, and I can't tell you how often I hear this, you
Yeah.
know, that things go on, and no one ever does any testing to see.
Yeah.
I don't
It's,
understand.
it's a simple test,
Yes.
you know, simple blood test.
Whenever
Oh,
it comes down to money.
She was in the hospital first week in November, and my husband and I, we were in Las Vegas at a trade show. And Tuesday morning, I woke up and I just was really unsettled, and I decided I was going to call the hospital and check on Mom. And I got the nurse's office, and I talked to Mom's nurse, and she said she's unresponsive. The chemo she had, they're thinking that she had a rare side effect to the chemo in her heart. And she said unresponsive, and I said, you mean she's not answering your questions? And she said, no, she's thrashing around in bed. And so I called my sister-in-law Betsy, and she went down, and Chuck went down, and my brother-in-law from Scranton came down, and they all went down. And I took her in on Thursday for her radiation, and her platelet count was low on Wednesday. And Chuck had told me, he said, go upstairs and ask the doctor if they want to do the chemo today. So we went up, and I had her sitting in the wheelchair, and I told the nurse, and she said, well, she'd go check with Dr. Finley. And there was another nurse standing there, and she said, well, how are you doing today, Alice Jean? And she said, I'm really tired. And she said, yes, I can see that. And then over the loudspeaker, they announced Code Blue, room 352, and they said it 4 times. And this nurse looked, and she said, well, that's the same thing that we had to do with you, Alice Jean, the last time you were in here. And I said, I looked at her, and I said, you mean she coded? And she said, yes, ma'am, she did. And I said, could have that been that Tuesday that I called from Las Vegas that that I was told she was unresponsive? And she said, yes, that was the day. And they had never told us that.
Oh, really?
And
Oh, my goodness.
I did not know what to say. I come home and no one was told. And we were just stunned.
Oh, my goodness. Don't know why they do things the way they do sometimes, huh?
Yeah, you wonder.
That actually leads me to a good point, though. Probably one that I should bring up, and that is that typically in the hospice program we do not do CPR. And I assume you understand why. You know, if we come and you're starting into the dying process and you're not breathing, your heart's not beating, we're not going to try to bring you back. We're going to allow you to pass
Yeah, she doesn't.
peacefully.
Good.
Okay.
Doesn't want any of that.
Okay.
I don't want any of this stuff, I just
Right.
want to go.
Right, that's considered being a DNR, okay, which means when I start to go, you let me go and let it all happen the way it naturally would.
Whether my mouth hangs open or not, but I don't like it.
Kelley, the one visiting nurse, she came in and she was talking to Mom about feeding tubes and things like that. And she said that normally the body's shutting down, and when you try to put a feeding tube in, the body doesn't digest the food anyhow, it just lays in there. And I
Even
can
more
see.
so with fluid. That's even worse, yes, because then
I don't want that.
absolutely, people think that it's horrible to withhold those things, but the truth of the matter is that when your body's metabolism slows down and you can't process it, all it does is build up this way,
Yeah.
and we end up with swelling on the brain, swelling on the lungs, the
Yeah.
patient cannot breathe.
Yeah.
It's a horrible situation.
I've been
Very
around other
hard.
people that have passed, you know, and their fingers swell up, and
Yes.
their toes swell
There's
up.
nowhere for
yeah.
it to go.
Yeah.
You know, they really cannot
No,
process it.
Oh,
Exactly, exactly, and
and
people,
everything
though.
flies all over the walls.
Well, you know what though, our society's so
Sure.
focused on eating and drinking, it's such a big part that people have a really hard time accepting that as the process goes on, your body simply does not require it. The shutdown
Yeah.
process is natural, and the body knows what to do. So it knows what it needs, when it needs it, and truthfully, you will probably not feel any hunger. The only side effect, you know, if you would stop eating and drinking at some point, would be a dry mouth, and we have little toothaches and things we use to take that away. So,
Okay.
you know, I don't want you to be frightened by that or your family to be upset about that. And
No,
you'll be very
I don't want, I
comfortable.
just want to go very...
This is what I wanted for her yesterday when all of this started happening. And our cousin Lois was saying, you know, this is going on and this is going on. And I didn't want her to suffer needlessly.
Yes.
And we came together as a family last night, and God answered our prayers. We all came to a consensus, and
Did you call back?
we all did our crying, and then afterwards it was like
Okay.
a heaviness was gone.
Was lifted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what's nice is that you won't have to go anywhere either. You won't have to go to the doctor anymore, because we'll be talking to him. Yeah, we'll be talking to him all the time, so everything we're doing, he'll know what we're doing, and he'll be helping us over the phone. Okay, so you can just rest and be here and enjoy your time. That's all you have to do.
That's
Don't
all
go
I have
anywhere.
to do. I don't have to go anywhere.
No. Every day she was asking, do I have to go today? And I'd say, no, Mom, today's Saturday. Oh, I get the day off.
Yes.
I took her on Thursday,
pretty good.
we put her in the car, she slept the whole way down, got her out, she got her radiation treatment, I put her back in the car, she slept the whole way home. She came home, she ate a little bit, and then she slept all afternoon. And I don't call that quality
No,
living.
not at all. Not at all. You need to focus on enjoying your time with your kids, and with your husband here, you know, and not worry about anything else at all. We'll take care of the
Except
rest.
the pool.
Except the pool. Is there a heater on it?
Is there a heater in that pool?
I think it's in the garage, Mom, I don't think it's connected up. We'll see what we can do.
I like the
Oh, yeah.
pool around.
Oh, it would be
We'll
lovely.
melt the ice and snow off the thing and let you get in.
Would you do that, Jerry?
Sure.
Maybe if you get to the point where you can walk pretty steadily, I'll take you up to the YMCA and take you in that pool. That'd be
They
okay?
have a nice pool.
The Indiana pool
Yeah.
is a nice pool, but it's cold.
Yeah, it's supposed to be heated, but
Yeah, the YMCA typically is very nice, their pools.
Indiana's heated.
Yeah.
You're used to
You guys
Katanning.
came in a camper?
I'm used to tanning, but it's cold too. And when you go out to get dressed in Katanning, everything hangs off.
We need
Yeah.
bath water is what we need, huh? You're like me, I'd much rather swim in that than,
Yeah.
it's all cold to me.
Wow.
Well, it certainly seems like you're all at peace with this choice, and so I will take care of trying to get that order as soon as we can. I'd like to see this happen, maybe even tomorrow, if we could. Like I said, Monday at the latest, very latest,
So
so.
I still need to call
Dead by
Renetta.
tomorrow.
No, I'll
Okay.
take care of everything.
Thank you.
Yes.
I could be dead by tomorrow.
No, not likely.
Not likely.
Mom,
No,
I
you-
could be
you
dead
can
by
just-
tomorrow. We
Well,
don't
yes,
know,
yeah,
but
no one knows, but
I mean, I don't really care because all I gotta do is
that'd be
go
great.
like that.
Okay, Dorothy.
yeah, no, you look just fine to me. I think you're gonna be
Yeah.
okay. It's important for me to say too that, you know, at no point during this process will we use medication to